The biggest misconception about fundraising with board members that have never gotten good fundraising training is that fundraising is cold calling. You're twisting arms, you're asking people for money, and because of that, when they say no, you take it personally because you take it as a rejection to you. Fundraising is really relationship building, it's not cold calling, and one of the things we try to get board members to do is understand the difference between cold calling in the corporate world and relationship building in the nonprofit world. So when board members understand that 90% of the work in fundraising is explaining to somebody why the agency is important, explaining to them the work they do in the community, explaining to them why they need charitable gifts to run the operation, that's 90% of the ask right there. That the ask really becomes, do you want to use a check or a credit card, because you've already convinced them it's an investment that they're excited to make. When they understand that fundraising is a three-step process of cultivation, solicitation, and stewardship, and that 90% of the work is very clearly in the relationship building of cultivating and stewardship, then they're more willing to embrace the board's role in fundraising. I tell board members if they don't want to ask for money, they never have to ask for money, because we can always get somebody to ask for money. That the heavy lifting is in the cultivation, the stewardship, and if they're not willing to do that, they have to wonder what they're doing on the board. The best cultivation I like are in environments where there's not going to be an ask, where the people coming know it's not a fundraising event, where they know they're not going to be put in a position to ask for money. Because before people can even think about making an investment, they have to understand what the agency does, its impact on the community. So I love events that involve the board, the staff, and sometimes a client telling a story, whether it's a reception at someone's home, an event at an art gallery or a fun venue, where we basically have a social time, but in the middle of it there's a mission moment, there's an interesting speaker, a story is told. Because before we can even think about asking people to invest, they have to understand what they're investing in. I like the staff and the development committee of the board every year to author and update what I call the 50 reasons to give list, and it may be 30 reasons to give, it may be 75 reasons to give. But I want every new board member in their board training materials to have a sheet of paper with all the talking points. The talking points would certainly have information on the various programs, but it would also have interesting information in terms of how long you've served the community, how many clients a year you serve, what geographic area you're the only service provider in. So if board members can't talk about the agency, they can't then match donors to different things the agency does. So I think educating the board member in the talking points is critical, and I love that 50 reasons to give list. When I stress stewardship to board members, one of the examples I use of good stewardship happened to me with an organization called Donors Choose. Donors Choose was a website established to help public school teachers raise money to fund things they needed in the classroom the school districts weren't paying for. And I went to a conference by the Council of Foundations. When we checked in, we were given a $75 gift card to the Donors Choose website, and so it didn't cost me anything to make a $75 donation because I was given the gift card. And I picked a school in my home county of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in Broward County, and I picked a school teacher that was trying to raise $600 to buy science videos for her. I'm not sure if it was the second or third grade class. And I did that, and very shortly afterwards got a very nice thank you note from Donors Choose. I got a very nice thank you note from the school teacher. And about 30, 45 days later, I got handwritten thank you cards from 10 students. And inside all of the cards was a handwritten letter. The letters were all personalized by the children. You could tell from the spelling mistakes and the grammar that these were not professionally written letters, and it was very sweet to get these letters. The other thing I was given was a website link where I could actually watch the kids watching the science videos. That was really excellent stewardship.